Welcome to Tattoo Confessions with King Louie's Tattoo Parlor. Yeah, where we spill the tea. So today is actually a really cool day because I'm actually hosting. I'm Anna Cologne. I am Louie's wife. Not a lot of people see me. I'm always in the back. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. What I like to do, my history. I've been tattooing for about 10 years. I predominantly do feminine tattoos, so I do a lot of Pinterest tattoos. So anything you see on Pinterest, I do a lot of floral, do a lot of stipple shading, but in general, it's very girly. So today I have Christina Thomas, who is in the chair with me, and me and Christina have a big history. I've been tattooing Christina for about 8 years. And she has just opened her own business.
Yeah.
What is your business called, Christina?
It's called Cake Therapy. I used to do cakes for fun, and the more I did it, the more interested I became, the more people were like, hey, where can I get one? And I never realized what kind of industry it could be. So I decided, actually, while we're sitting in this chair, we were talking about how I should turn it into a business and things like that, and how I should, just put myself out there when it comes to cakes and take a risk. And we sat here and we were pitter-pattering back and forth about like names, and I was struggling, and then you just asked me, you were like, what is it, what do cakes mean to you? Like what are they like, what brings you kind of like the joy of it? And
I
you
remember
know,
that, yeah.
I would tell you that it's like my therapy, giving somebody an opportunity to smile, have a special piece, be proud of something that, you know, they want to show off to their friends, and I get to be part of that creation. Is like when you tattoo, it's
Yeah, you're very proud of it. It's
yeah.
something that probably also is very relaxing for you.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's like my therapy. I get to do what I love and know that at the end of everything, I'm going to put a smile on somebody's face. I'm going to make a celebration just a little bit better, or somebody's day just a little bit better.
Yeah.
And to know that I can bring that kind of joy to all kinds of people just really warms my heart and just pushes me to keep going.
Well, that's awesome. Because I know you've been super busy. Like, I've just seen so many of your cakes that you've been posting, dude, and I'm just so in awe of you. What do you feel like has been the most complicated cake that somebody's asked you to do?
Um, I think it was, I had to make a cake that looked like somebody's hiney. and
Okay.
and it was for her husband who was retiring from the military. And I got photos so that way I can make sure that it is pretty similar to what
Wait, she sent you pictures of her, the hiney?
she sent me, pictures of what she wanted, and then she gave me a very descriptive things that she wanted with it. Okay. It turned out amazing.
Okay, I
But
can only imagine.
yeah, it was definitely, that was probably my most unique request. I get a lot of like wedding cakes, birthday cakes, fun cakes that, you know,
So they're all just pretty much fun to you.
yes.
You don't work, right?
No,
It's
no.
pretty much just fun.
Yeah.
So have you had anybody ask you like to put something really crazy into like a cake or cupcakes?
No, but I mean, if somebody would, I would definitely have to look at my ethics and see if I could do something like that.
Well, I mean, because, in the tattoo shop, we do talk about everything. So I did have another client who said she does a cake business on the side, and that a lady had messaged her and said, hey, how would you feel about putting my man's, specimen in the cake batter? And I was like, did you do it? She didn't do it, but I don't even know what I would say to that. Like, what do you say to that?
Right. I I don't know if I could ethically do that.
I mean, forget the ethics. Like, you're going to somebody's like birthday party and serving them your man stuff. Like,
Right.
that's kind of gross.
Right. I can understand if it was like one-to-one in the bedroom kind of situation, but even
Like,
that,
here, eat your own stuff.
even that, I would be like,
That's kind of shady. Dude.
let me just you take care of the sample in your time. I'll send a little extra buttercream in a little cup, and you can do whatever you want with that. You can add it to wherever you want.
So, have you felt like Colorado Springs is like super busy for cakes? Like, do you feel like they're always doing something? I feel like it's
Yeah.
a pretty big city.
I feel like there's a lot of competition, a lot of people that are finding the art and when it comes to cakes or cupcakes or any kind of desserts and things like that. When I started this business, I never thought of it as like a competition of I have to be better than the next person, or I have to really just kind of do it where I can just grow really, really fast. My idea is I don't want my job to work me. I want to be able to work my job and enjoy it and really just not feel like it's an obligation. And I think for me, the moment it turns into an obligation, it's just not, I lose what I started. I lose the passion I had because, you know, I do this to make people happy, but also to kind of keep, you know,
Your sanity, like,
yeah.
hey, it's kind of something I can tune out and do and have fun with it.
Exactly. And if I have to compete with people and I'm constantly looking at others and that's, well, the so and so is better than so and so, I'm just not into that. Like I just want to be here. I just want to do art. I want to support other artists, other women artists.
Yeah, and that's really important.
Yeah, and know that hey, I might not be the best of the best every single time, but I want to know people that, you know, we can learn from each other, teach each other, share with each other, not be a competition and go, I'm better than you, she's horrible. Like
Yeah, it's not
in
really
today's
like
society, women are not seen as much as entrepreneurs, you know.
that. True story.
And it's starting to come around where that's starting to become a thing, and we have to establish more of a friend to friend kind of relationships, not this like
Supportive. We want to support each other instead
right.
of being like, oh no, you're not as good as me. No,
Yeah.
let me hold you
This ain't
back.
high school no more.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally, fully agree with that. So, you know, me and you have had quite a history. How do you feel about numbing cream now?
Listen, I don't do numbing cream. I've never done numbing cream, but you know, there's a case for others that just might need it. They might not have the strength
You know, your
internally.
kids won't even do numbing cream because
Yeah.
they said my mom would not approve of using numbing cream. I mean, I tattoo Christina's kids, both of them, and they will not touch numbing cream because they don't want their mom to look look down on them.
I would never
Like,
look down
don't
on
be a
them.
wimp. You got this. You're my kid. You got this.
My uncle was a tattoo artist, and I don't know, just growing up, you know, you've got the stigma when it comes to tattoos, and you got to be a badass, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and so for me, it's just kind of stuck. I
Got
know
it.
that the things have changed, technology's gotten better, and if you don't like pain, but you love the art, and you want to sit here and you want to have art and support somebody else, by all means, numb and cream it up. But personally, myself, I'm not going to say I'll never use numbing cream. I'm just not in that state now to use it.
Gotcha. I feel like as we get older, like I can like gradually go towards numbing cream a little bit more. It helps out. It's that little crutch that I need.
Yeah.
You look at MGK. He literally just went and blacked out his whole arm. And I'm sure he did it under anesthesia. I mean, I would love to do that too. Would you be opposed to anesthesia?
No.
No?
Not on something big. And a lot of my pieces are they're big but they're not huge. And so I think my mind would change if I had a fully shaded large tattoo in one session. I probably would be a little bit more open to numbing cream. But then again,
Yeah, you
I might
say
just try
maybe
to
not. I'll be.
tough it out.
Yep. I already feel that coming from you. I already feel that energy. So, you have Forky, you have Angelica, you
started this
have
arm.
Vanellope Von Sweets on that arm.
You started here, and just over the last, I would say, year,
Yeah.
maybe year and a half, we've got Sadness over here, Angelica. We got ourselves some Forky and some Vanellope and
Do
Hey.
you want to give me your best impression of Forky? You do it every time, so
I know.
I'm gonna make you do it on camera.
I love when he comes out of the trash can and he's like, "Hi, I'm trash."
What do you feel like your stories behind that of all your tattoos?
So I look at tattoos and they do. I feel like they don't have to tell a story. You can get a tattoo just for fun. I mean, I've gotten tattoos just for fun, but as I get them, I start to realize that my life is kind of like living through them. You know, when you're a kid, you don't know anything, and as you grow up and you're a young adult, you get thrown in this world and there's bullies and people are mean and you just feel like you don't fit in. You feel like you're never going to be good enough, kind of like garbage, like trash.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just have to be patient and wait your turn and realize that somebody's going to pick you up and you're not trash. You may look silly or you may talk silly or things like that, but there's going to be people out there that are going to love you and support you no matter what. So that's kind of how Forky came around. And then when I was little, I have 5 siblings, 1 older and 4 younger. And being the oldest girl, I was very protective of my younger siblings. My brother was, he's a little bit older, so he was, more of a teenager off doing his own thing when I was at that age. And I used to protect my siblings. It's like nobody can pick on them. So I got the nickname Angelica.
Angelica. That makes sense, okay.
And then Vanellope, she's a princess. So but you don't know she's a princess.
You don't know she's a glitch.
Yeah, again, she's got a quirk to her, but I feel like she's still seen in the light of she's a princess, but she's not advertising it. And I love that about like these kind of things, is that you don't always have to advertise, this is what I do, this is who I am, but you just allow the art and the passion to shine through, and you discover who you are. When she discovered she was a princess.
A princess.
And sadness that one's a kind of a tough one, because people are like, why would you get something like that on you? Like,
really?
Sad.
Really?
Yeah. And
oh,
why would you
no.
want to have sad, something to do with sadness? And she's cute, but you got to think about it in a way of, life's not always happy all the time.
No, it's not.
You go through shit, you deal with stuff, and it gets hard, and there's times where you just want to ball up and cry, and you want to take something that maybe other people find fun or enjoying, and you just want to not be fun and enjoying, and you want to be sad, and it's okay to be sad.
It is.
And I feel like we need to let that be known, that it's okay to be sad. That just makes you become a better person, in the sense that
gives you more resilience, dude. You can go through different emotions, and it's okay.
Right.
You don't always have to be happy.
Right.
And I think that in this day and age, people fake it till they make it, and sometimes that's not the best.
Right. And then hey, he's unique, He's got this quirk about him.
Very quirky. I feel like your whole arm has a theme. Like,
yeah.
Just kind of.
It's just a little bit of everything. And I don't have no rhyme or reason or to where it's going to go or what the next one will be. It'll just speak to me one day, and then it'll show up on my arm, and it'll help me grow into the person that I'm supposed to become. When I was little, I was a good kid. I didn't get in trouble too much. I went to school, got good grades, things like that. But I didn't really get the taught how to be an adult, how to socialize, how to create relationships. And I struggled with that. So, finding bits and pieces of things and fitting them together to make it my own is just kind of what I know.
What you do.
And that's how, like with cakes, like my grandma was a baker, and I didn't know that until years later. And she started doing cakes, and she used to decorate cakes. And
oh, is that where you learned it from?
I didn't learn it from her, but I feel like, that was something that she left behind when she passed away. Like, I inherited that kind of gift from her, because I never thought we would have a baker in the family. I thought it came out of nowhere. I just liked to do things, and I was creative. But, it was my grandma that essentially started it, and I learned that after her passing. And, I never got to see a lot of her work, but I know that she's looking down and she's really proud that, I get to do this for fun and joy and happiness and free,
Do you feel like, as now a female business owner, do you feel like if you could talk to yourself a year ago when you started, would you give yourself any other advice? Like, being a woman, owning a business, would there be something like, dude, you have to do this first and foremost?
I think confidence. When you start a business, it's scary. And I think that if I can go back and tell myself when she started a year ago that it's okay to be confident, it's okay to be proud, and know that when people tell you that is amazing, or it's awesome, or you're doing so great, or I'm so proud of you, it's okay to believe it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, you guys are just saying that. You're my friends.
You guys are my friends. Yeah.
I haven't got out there and got like real business, and that's such a stigma, because my friends are my business too. And I would tell her to be more confident and just really, truly believe in herself, because she's a strong person.
I mean, because it's a hard business to, just owning your own business is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And not
great
comparing yourself, like with women, it's hard to own a business when you're a woman, and to try to find other women
like-minded, yeah.
that are like-minded, but also that are maybe a little more advanced than you.
Mm-hmm,
And
like a mentor.
instead of like going, oh God, I wish I was like that person. Use that person. Use her to go, man, she's doing something right. I got to get in her head. I got to see what she's doing, and I need to start implicating that for myself, because she's obviously got this tactic going on that's growing her business. And then I see other women that are coming out, and they talk about things, and I encourage them, start it. What's the worst can happen? You get no.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'd rather have a no than not even try at all.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like anybody's like trying to hate on you? Because, Colorado Springs is really big and they have a great networking. They have a very good networking support system. There's so many groups that you can go to. But do you ever feel like there's haters?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
so
never like experienced it personally in a sense, but I definitely think that it can be very competitive, and people can hate, and they will, and they'll nitpick your creations. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I would have done that better. And you know, we need to have a community that supports each other and can see somebody else's, and instead of going, oh, I could have done that better, constructive criticism. Hey, have you tried this technique? Maybe this will help you kind of get better on that. So it's really difficult, especially when you're trying to get into the industry of other bakers, and you don't want to feel like, well, is my cake moist enough? Is it tall enough? Is the buttercream good enough? And I'd rather have more of a, what can I learn? Give me some constructive criticism. But today's society doesn't, they're not about constructive criticism. Not everybody wants to be nice and be kind. They just want to bash you to try to grow themselves. And that's sad.
that's not cool.
No. It's sad that there are individuals out there that will do that.
Well, I think that's just in life in general, but that it has to come out on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
that we are so competitive and
But I think the most important thing is that it's good to have that motivation, and you use it as motivation. You take that and you use it to better and grow yourself, rather than, believe in somebody saying that you're not good enough. You're mediocre at best, and just take that energy and push it into your art even more, because they may think you're mediocre at best, but they haven't even seen what has to come. You're a new business. You're young. You're growing. They haven't even seen the best parts yet.
well, do you remember when we started together? Like I was really young.
Yeah.
And I was scared, very scared. Well, I didn't know, what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But you guys supported us.
Right.
We had people supporting us.
When you came up here and you guys visited, and started doing your artwork, and it was like one of those things like, we really enjoyed your company. You should come up to Colorado Springs. And one of the things that you were like, but there's a lot of tattoos in Colorado Springs, tattoo shops.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like, how are we, we're just a mom and pop in the beginning, and that's going to be difficult for you just to uproot your family to a new place and start, reestablished in a whole new city. But there was just something about Colorado Springs that pulled you guys here, and that you had a huge support system. And in the beginning, it was rough. It was definitely hard for you guys to try to establish yourself when there is such a market of tattoo shops. And you can go anywhere. But the thing about you guys is, yeah, you can go anywhere. You could pay $20 for a tattoo, but you're not going to get the experience like you would coming here from you. That personality, the friendships, the stories, the things like that.
I think that's what's important, is bonding with, we spend so much time together. It's just a natural thing that happens that you turn into a friend. It's not like, we've gone to concerts together. We do Halloween parties together. It's not just like, oh, hey, you're my client. No, it's like, hey,
Right.
if I really needed something, I know I could call Christina and she'd be like, yeah, I got you. I had COVID and you brought me soup. Like,
Not realizing that you guys were all throwing up and couldn't eat it.
That's okay. It was the thought that mattered. That was
Right.
all that counted.
Right.
Was that thought, dude. But I mean, it's hard to not become friends when, you know, we spend so much time together.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Have you ever, like, just totally fudged up a cake? Like, and had to restart it all over again?
I have.
Have you? What
Yeah.
did you do? Were you like,
It was
let me go
just
buy
so-
one?
It was one of those things where I was in a different state because it was down in Florida
Ooh,
for
the cooking,
a wedding.
yeah, elevation.
Totally different state. The humidity was different. And I was like confident. I was like, I got this. This is going to be awesome. I don't know how many buttercreams I had to start over. I got to the point where the cakes were not rising. So I sent my husband to Walmart to go buy some cake rounds just so that way I had something. And, you know, that was in the beginning. That was when I was just starting and I had to learn to problem
Scary,
solve.
yeah.
You know, and I've grown since then. I've realized that, hey, you know, make extra cakes in case this happens, you know, be a little more prepared. And it taught me a lot of things that you don't realize when you're in the moment. But yeah, I've definitely had some, that one was a rough one.
I mean,
for
because
me.
I don't bake, I don't cook, period. But I mean, I can only imagine like you're on a timetable and you're literally like trying to get this cake done, and then you open the oven and oh my god, it's just not even working at all.
I did that on one of my cakes where I turned the oven on like I normally do and it preheated. I threw my cakes in there and I was like, what is burning? What is going on?
Oh, so you have burnt a cake.
Yeah, and I was
Gotcha.
like, why does my house smell? I opened the oven and the top of my cake is like a hockey puck.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what did I do? I look at the oven and in my rush and in my craziness of trying to get things done, I set it to broil
Oh shoot.
at 350 instead of bake.
Oh no.
So I literally just broiled the top of my cake and I had to start over and redo it again and, you know, stay up an extra hour or two the night before because I like to, you know, make sure you're getting a fresh product. And at the end of the day, if I have to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm still going to get up.
How many
masterpiece.
3 o'clock in the mornings have you stayed up till?
Many,
bet.
many a nights. I'll do last minute things like I got a client that last minute on a Thursday wanted 40 dozen cupcakes.
Wow.
And at first I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And I took it as a challenge because I was like, I
40
can do this.
dozen. How many cupcakes is that?
480 cupcakes.
480?
In less than 48
Jesus.
hours.
Wait, okay. Did they really think that was doable though? Like people who order it, is that really cool to do that? Like you really thought that was doable, you forgot about it, and then
But see, I like a challenge. I like to be challenged in that sense, and I was like, I think I can do this. Now, if it wasn't for my husband, I don't know if I would have done it in time. You know, family's a big support when it comes to small businesses, and you definitely have to lean on your family. But we did it. We got it done by Saturday morning. 480 cupcakes later, frosted, boxed, ready to go, and
were they happy? At least? Like
Absolutely.
extremely, because I'm sure they called many places and they got turned down.
Yeah, no, it was one of those things where it was actually for my boss. You know, he wanted to do some things for his client, his realtors, and just let him
Of
know.
course, it was for your boss.
And I did it, and we did it. But it boosted my spirits to know that hey,
Yeah, I could do this. I could rise to this
Right.
challenge. I
Right.
got this.
Right.
So it probably gives you a lot more confidence for the next round that you
Yeah.
go on.
yeah,
That's impressive, Christina. And to just imagine that you weren't doing this last year at this time.
I was doing like cakes. I'd be like, hey, let me do a cake for your birthday. Like, you know, I had
And
done one
you
for
make
you.
amazing cakes too. But I'm so happy for you that it's just worked out for you.
I just love that it came full circle. You know, we met, you started tattooing, cake therapy was born here. Now we're creating our first podcast together. You know, it's come a long way.
I'm so happy for you, dude. And your tattoos come a long way too. It's almost done. So
We're there.
how's your arm feeling?
Pretty good. You know, when you get to the
So
white,
no
it's
numbing
a little,
cream?
No,
No lidocaine for Christina.
no. This one's a little guy though.
Fair enough. I'm lidocaine me up, dude. I will take all the lidocaine I can get.
I tell my kids that I'm like, man, if you need to use the numbing cream, and they're like, no, because you don't use it, and we're part of you, so, you know, okay.
I think the moral of this story is, dude, if you want to do something, go and do it,
Right.
dude. Like, just, no matter how scared you are, matter how intimidated you are, you might be extremely intimidated to do something. But once you get out of that shell and then you like hit day 1, day 2, day 3, and you keep meeting these problems and
Right.
figuring them out, and then you're like, oh, I can do this.
And then one client says, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to refer you to my friend. And then the friend calls and go, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I'm going to refer you to my other friend. And then before you know it, my goal when I first started, my goal was 1 cake a weekend. And within the first year, I surpassed that quick.
Good.
Where I was more like 4 or 5 cakes in a weekend. And then I started to have to go, I got to get myself to a point where I'm like, what can I handle?
When can I say no?
When can I
have
say
to
no?
say no.
And I think
Sometimes
that's
I gotta
important
say no.
in a small business, right? Where you have to learn to say no, but at the same time, you don't want to lose that business. So there's a balance that needs to happen when you own your own business, and kind of are doing it solo. Even though I'm not doing it solo, I have my family and my husband. He's my biggest supporter, and but I have to learn to say no sometimes, and I struggle with that.
It's hard. We want to make everybody happy, dude.
Yeah.
We do want to take everybody and make everybody happy, but you also need to like think about yourself, take care of yourself,
Right.
because it's not going to be fun if you're just stressed out about it,
Right. That's when it takes the joy out of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, kind of going against what you were actually doing it for. Entirely. I totally get it. I'm so proud of you, Christina.
I can't wait to see what this next year is going to bring and what new tattoos I'm going to get, and
Oh, we have your whole arm planned, don't we?
Yeah.
We're ready to go with that. I'm so ready to go with that. I just have so enjoyed like talking to you about cake therapy because I feel like it started like
It was a
just
conversation between you and I, just like this, and I was reading you names, and there were some good ones. There was some not so good
ones.
But you kept asking me, like, why? Why cakes? I think that was like one of the things that you asked me is why cakes? And I came out with it's my therapy. And then you were like, so cakes are your therapy. And then it was born.
Cake
It was
therapy,
a thing.
yeah.
Some people go to actual therapists. Some people get tattoos. Some people, baking cakes and making cakes and seeing what I can do and taking some flour, some sugar, and some butter and making something incredible is my therapy. And this, ink therapy too.
Well, yeah, it's always going to be in the back of everybody's mind, ink therapy. But somebody was saying if you don't make your client cry, it's not a good release. And I'm like, I try not to make any of my clients cry.
Right.
But
I don't know if you want that end goal there.
yeah, no, I was totally kind of creeped out by that. Like, why would you want to make your client cry? Like, not cool at all.
Right.
I'm not feeling the whole crying thing. If I made you cry, I would feel extremely uncomfortable and I would probably have to walk away.
Or apologize profusely. I'm so sorry.
Christina, I'm so sorry. What did I do to you?
Why did I agree to give you a tattoo that consists of needles?
Well, being a mom, it's hard to hurt other people because I think it's just the mom in us.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't want to hurt you. I want to just make sure you're A-okay, I want to give you an awesome tattoo, but I also don't want to mess you up either.
So you'll always offer the numbing
I
cream?
will always offer numbing cream.
You never know. I might surprise you one day and be like, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. When I'm like 80, who knows?
I would be super surprised if you do. I live for that day to see that.
I have a better chance of winning the lottery.
I better go buy our lottery ticket then. Dang.
Right?
Dang, if I have a better chance of winning the lottery than seeing Christina get numbing cream, okay. Well, that was a cute little 30-minute tattoo. Look how adorable it is. Let me clean you off, girl.
Okay. So when, cake therapy started, the name, and now we're bringing it full circle a year later with a permanent tattoo to kind of solidify that.
It's cake therapy, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Make sure if you guys like this video, click the like button or subscribe and follow.